The Pacific is inspired by the dawn of the jet age and what is signified to the world, a totally new way of transport with a complete reassessment of what it meant to fly. The Comet, in its sleek futuristic beauty, certainly inspires enough by itself, but it's the story of human endeavour that really captured our hearts and minds. The ability to fly at high altitudes and super fast speeds brought about its own significant hurdles. But from that point in 1952, when the Comet arrived, it was the start of what would become one of the most important aspects of modern life as we know and understand it. So much has happened in the decades since the Comet took to the skies over Hatfield Aerodrome that it's impossible to cover it here, but for the Pacific Range we have designed a watch for each major point in the jet age, from the beginnings with the Comet through the introduction of first class, to the application of jet technology for ultra-high altitude reconnaissance aircraft, to arguably the most iconic of all aircraft ever designed. We've designed the Pacific with a no-holds-barred mentality. What can we apply in all of our understanding right now, with the infinite possibility of bespoke design, using the very best of materials, finishes and textures to create a vision of a new age in human history. The design of the Pacific echoes the sharp and smooth aesthetics of the jet age, with a bit of Marloe obsession thrown in for good measure. We've used a tri-finished case for the first time here, with polished, brushed and frosted surfaces to create one of the most engaging and light dynamic cases possible. Every angle has something new to see, and each new viewpoint embraces the uniquely designed case form. For the dials, the Pacific range starts with the Pacific 52. This is our ode to the new world of jet flight. Sleek, futuristic, modern from a 1952 perspective. This is beautifully refined and elegant design. Slick brushed aluminium and steel surfaces, opulent rose gold flourishes and a simplicity of dial that exudes understated class. Multi-textured, the bubble profile dial features applied rose gold numerals and a centre second sweeping hairline hand. The next chronological step is the Pacific 55, when the jetliners were now offering a new level of experience, one where the ultimate in luxury, opulence and perfection were available. First-class service on a jet airliner was something many dreamed about and some enjoyed. It was the very best in service, food, drink and comfort. A gold service, one might say. Well, the 55 follows this with a beautiful gold palette, a hark back to the gold watches of the previous generations. The dial features a two-tone bubble dial with polished gold applied markings that fall off the edge of the dial's curvature, a magnificent visual treat. There's smaller gold pips, black printed markings and a sunken subdial with radial texture to give some incredible depth and dynamic light play. The bespoke tapering hands with two textured finish completes this rather wonderfully theatrical watch. Of course, jet engine technology was developed for military use, and it was developed further for those same markets, peaking with the SR-71 Blackbird, the most cutting-edge, ultra-high altitude reconnaissance aircraft of its time. It flew higher, faster and further than anything before or since, and its job, to take high-resolution photographs without being shot down, was achieved with perfect success. It's the most iconic stealth plane in my eyes anyway, which is why we've been inspired to create this ultra-stealthy iteration of the Pacific, the 66. A jet black case finish that retains the tri-textures, it leads into a subtly textured bubble dial with bright white markings, reminiscent of the cockpit instruments found in the SR-71. For this model, everything that is white on the dial glows beautifully, brightly at night, with the superluminova markings and, in a first for us, full blocks of luminous compound formed into our numerals. It's a sight to behold. The final dial of our launch range is the Pacific 76, inspired by the most iconic of all jet-powered aircraft, and the first passenger plane to travel at Mach 2. Concorde is the inimitable delta-wing dart that captured the world's attention when it launched, allowing unprecedented luxury and speed to those lucky enough to travel on it. We've taken the British colourway and applied it to the 76, using the glossy white outer rim of the bubble dial, a bold navy blue and small subtle red detailing. This dial features superluminova blocks and infilled hands to make low light time telling easier. It's an exercise in simplicity and refined elegance. Polished hands and a halo around the subdial add sparkle, whilst the myriad dial textures and radial subdial surface are important indicators of just how special these watches are.